is Donna Taggert, the dietitian for Department of Aging and Human Services. This month we're going to be zeroing in on a component of the Mediterranean diet, and specifically their use of EVOO, extra virgin olive oil. But first, let me review the Mediterranean diet. It has been ranked #1 best overall diet for 9 years so far, and probably will continue, by the U.S. News World and Report. They have a panel of nutrition experts that get together, evaluate every diet that's out there for a lot of components. Mediterranean diet comes in #1 all the time. And why? Well, it's been proven to reduce heart disease risk, improves cognitive function, it supports weight loss, and it decreases inflammation. And we all know how dangerous chronic inflammation is. It really can lead to type 2 diabetes and other things. So it's basically a plant-based diet, but it allows meat. It's not totally eliminated, but it focuses mainly on fruits and vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, healthy fats, fish, and poultry. And while not totally eliminating other things, it discourages the overconsumption of sweets, processed foods, and red meats. So the healthy fat that they focus on, because it's the Mediterranean diet, it's all the countries that surround the Mediterranean Sea. What grows over there? Olives. So olive oil is their fat of choice. So I'm going to tell you a little bit, how does olives get to our bottled olive oil. I'm going to talk specifically about this company here, Cobra Estate, out of California, because I was at a conference. I heard a lot about them from the conference, and I'm going to stick with what I know, if that's okay. But I'm sure the process is pretty similar wherever olive oil is produced. Cobra Estates has about 8,000 acres in California and over 3.9 million olive trees. That's amazing. They're one of the largest olive growers in the world, not only just California. Well, what happens is these olive trees start budding in early May, and by 6 months later, the flowers are starting to set, and the harvest begins about mid-October to December. They're picked right at the perfect time. It's when the fruit, the green olive, is turning black. It has not fallen from the tree. They don't want any that have fallen, because they start like a fermentation process, and that gives it that off taste that's not good for a premium olive oil. So they never allow them to touch the ground. If they touch the ground, boom, out of there. They're picked continuously, 24 hours a day, until they've got them all picked. Then they go to the mill. No longer do they use those old, big old, stone things. They use stainless steel that's going to, keep safety and sanitary. But these olives are crushed, and then they're kind of like into a paste. It's mixed for about an hour, and then the oil starts to separate, and they throw it in a centrifuge, and out the oil is separated. Nothing's added. It's 100% juice from the olives, and into the bottles it goes. So this particular company claims, and is, a tree to table, I guess it's called. From their olive trees, everything is done right there on the estate until it hits the bottles and hits your shelf. It's all temperature controlled too, because if you get heat involved in any of this process, it will kill some of the antioxidants and the good things that are in olive oil. And each batch lab tested for quality. So the recommendation is 2 tablespoons a day of olive oil, and it's supposed to replace similar amounts of saturated fat. So if you eat a lot of red meats, fatty foods made with regular, butter or lard or something like that, those are the things you're replacing with olive oil. So what you're eating isn't really upping your calories. And the studies have showed extra virgin olive oil, EVOO, positive impact on mental health. It boosts your brain power. It may decrease the risk of Alzheimer's. It decreases the risk of stroke, cardiovascular disease. It inhibits the bad cholesterol and decreases blood pressure, so that's all good. It's good for our gut health. We talked about that last month, how important gut health is. It's rich in nutrients and antibacterial properties that eliminate those bad bacteria that we don't want in our gut. It's also rich in anti-inflammatory polyphenols, all helping to fight that chronic inflammation. Now, if it says cold press, what it means, it hasn't been exposed to any heat. So there's a component called oleocanthal. Hope I'm saying that right. And it has similar anti-inflammatory to taking ibuprofen. That's amazing. So, because if you have high blood pressure, you don't want to be taking a lot of ibuprofen. It's not good for your kidneys, but olive oil is not going to hurt you. So that's kind of interesting to know that. Some studies also show that it kills bad bacteria that cause the ulcers in our stomach. So obviously olive oil is so good for us. You go to the grocery store, I'm going to be doing more olive oil. Massive amount, shelves of olive oil, and you look at it and you're like, what do I do? What do I look for? First, I want to tell you, it's big international crime ring with olive oil. If you didn't know that, it's big business. They adulterate olive oil, thin it with other, not good oils, and sell it as EVOO, extra virgin olive oil. 2023, Italian inspectors confiscated 380 tons of counterfeit olive oil. That same year, they arrested 11 suspects that had 200,000 liters of olive oil that had been blended with other inferior oils, including lampante, which is an oil they use in lamps. So they say possibly 80% of even labeled extra virgin olive oil doesn't meet the strict requirements that has been established by the International Olive Oil Council, which is made up of 10 countries. So what do we look for? Especially if it just says olive oil, don't even do it. If it says light oil or pure olive oil, it's not. Don't even bother with that. So you start out, you're looking for extra virgin olive oil on the label. Next thing you have to look for is the origin and certifications. So I'm going to talk about certification in a minute. Origin just means where it has been produced. You want to find a single origin country if possible, meaning everything's been done right there. If you've got too many countries coming in, then there's a more chance of inferior oils being blended with that. So you want to find ones that have little or no more than one or two. Next, you want to look for harvest date. A reputable olive oil company will include the harvest date. And that's important because you don't want to buy olive oil beyond 18 months of harvest, because then it's going to be inferior and broken down and the nutrients aren't going to be there. So if you don't know when it's been harvested, it's hard to say. So it's important. It'll either say harvest date or bottling date, which is about the same thing because the bottling really happens like they're mixing and boom into the bottles. So that's not too much of an issue. But be suspicious if you can't find a harvest date on the bottle. That might indicate there's a problem. Packaging, it should be in a high quality olive oil would be in a glass, dark, or a tin, T-I-N, tin, because it prevents the light from oxidizing. So if it's sitting on a store and the lights are shining on it, it's going to get oxidized. You're going to lose a lot of those really, really good antioxidants. Size matters too. Don't be rushing to BJ's, Costco, buying the big old things saying, oh, this is a good price. If you can't use it within the harvest date, 18 months, and after you open it, you need to use it within 30 days to 60 days, or again, it's going to deteriorate. So if you're getting these big things and you're not using that much, it's probably more cost efficient just to get a smaller one. So think about that. Okay, next I want to talk about that certification. First of all, it says cold press. That's not a certification. It's just a method, and that's good, but it doesn't indicate quality. Also, if it says USDA organic, important, good, doesn't indicate quality. There's only two quality certifications. One's NAOOA, North American Olive Oil Association. It confirms it meets standards set by that olive oil, International Olive Oil Corporation with those 10 countries. It's pure, unadulterated EVOO, and they have random testings. They go out in grocery stores and buy stuff and test, so they're very strict. And then the other one is the CAOO Council. That's the California Association of Olive Oil. And it is certified, it's genuine EVOO from California, strict, very strict testing. They have blind sensory evals and all kinds of stuff, very high standards. So let me show you, and the other two are European. PDO is protected designation of origin, and PGI, protective geographic indication. Just if that's on there, you shouldn't have to worry from Europe. But most of the fraudulent olive oil is actually coming out of Europe, so you have to be careful. So this will be posted on a link if you want to see it clearer, because when you look at the bottle, if you're like me, sometimes I need my reading glasses on to see those little things. But these are the two on this side here are the two European. This is the NAOO with the olive branch, little olives, and then this is the California one. Looks kind of like a plant with little olives in between. So if you see that certification, any of these four, you're good. You don't have to look for anything else probably, but you do want to look, obviously, the harvest date and stuff. But you'll know it is a pure, it's been unadulterated, it's been tested, it's been, quality controlled. So you're good with that. Also, if it's if it's too cheap, it's probably no good. A good bottle of olive oil is probably going to cost you between $15 to $30 for a 500 ml bottle. This one is actually $7.50, so it's a little bit smaller olive oil bottle. Mid-range 10 to 15, and under 10, don't even bother with it. It's probably not going to be worth your money. So let's look real quick. These are two that I bought from Walmart. This is the Coburn Estates, I'm telling you, out of California. Both purchased right at Walmart. So let's look at this one first. Glass, dark, so good with that, no light exposure. Only single source, California. A harvest date, October to December 2025. Best used if by December 12, 2027. So there's that 18 months. Then it tells you, store away from heat and light, use within 4 to 6 weeks of opening for best taste and enjoyment. So again, it's telling you when you need to use it. It does have the seal. Probably can't see it, but there's the little California seal there, so it's good to go. So that one passes our test. There's another one I bought at Walmart, and there were a lot to choose from Walmart. But first of all, it's plastic, clear, so sitting on the shelf. Who knows how much of the nutrition is left in this olive oil with the light hitting it. There is absolutely no seal on this thing at all that I could find. Has a cute little emblem of olive. Looks nice, but no seal. It does not have the harvest date. It does have best used by. Again, that's kind of iffy. You don't know, when exactly it was harvested. And then I have to kind of lower my glasses to read this. But product contains from olive oil from Italy, Spain, Tunisia, Turkey, and or Argentina. It's a lot of sources, a lot of opportunity for things to go poor quality. So there you go. Just two of the many examples again, but you know if it has the seal, you can probably feel pretty safe. So how do we get 2 tablespoons a day? Sounds like a lot. There is a myth about the smoke point of olive oil, that it's so low you can't cook with it. It's a myth. It's not a good indicator of stability. You can barbecue, you can deep fry, you can saute. 10 or 20 to 40% of the antioxidants are going to be destroyed by that heating process, but you still got 80 to 60% left. So it's still got some of that good stuff in it. But if you're using it cold, then you're going to get 100% of the antioxidants in there, as long as you're storing it right and not in light and stuff like that. My favorite thing is I grabbed this. Obviously, I need to make some more very quickly. 3 parts olive oil to 1 part good balsamic vinegar, and that's all I put in it. And then it has a little thing, and I pour it out drizzle it over my salad. You can add other stuff. I choose not to. I don't want to put sodium in it. And if you put like fresh garlic, things like that, you have to be careful it doesn't go bad. So you have to use it pretty quickly. This is shelf stable, and so I can just have it in a shelf dark part of my pantry and pour it out whenever I have a salad, which is pretty much every night because it's tasty. Get a good balsamic vinegar with some flavor in it and put it with a good olive oil, and it's really delightful. But you can drizzle it on things, drizzle it on your oatmeal, drizzle it on avocado toast, drizzle it over, vegetables you cook. And we'll be posting a link. This is from this Coburn Estates. It's how to use extra virgin olive oil, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Lots of good ideas for that. So you certainly can do that. If you come out to the center, I'm going to be making a chocolate olive oil zucchini bread for everybody to try. It has the Greek yogurt in it as well, and some cocoa powder, so all those are good components. They're healthy. And we will post the link of the recipe if you'd like to prepare it at home. And if you come to the centers, I'm going to do a little taste testing. We're going to be a taste testing panel. Those panels are usually highly controlled scientific procedure by certified testing panel people. That's not going to be us, obviously, but they follow strict international protocols, and this is how they end up getting that seal of approval. Is they look for complete absence of flaws. Some of the flaws are it's rancid, which tastes like old nuts. You know how rancid it is, old crayons. They're looking so it's not muddy tasting, which is like dirty socks. I'm not sure how that tastes, but it doesn't sound good. Musty and winey vinegary taste, they don't want that. That shows that probably those olives have dropped onto the ground and started the fermenting process. So they're looking that none of that is in there. And then they're looking for positive flavors, fruity, kind of like fresh, grown, grassy taste. This sounds weird, but they're looking for a bitter taste, a clean, pleasant taste on your tongue. And the third one is pungent. It's like a peppery kick in the back of your throat, and that's because of that oleocanthal I talked about, that anti-inflammatory like ibuprofen. That gives it that peppery taste. So those are the things we're going to try out to see if we can identify good olive oil versus a bad one. But again, you know, that's just something fun we do at the center. Anyway, hope you learned some good fun facts about olive oil. I certainly did when I attended the conference on it. And I'll see you back here next month. Bye now.